You're losing jobs to contractors who underbid you and you can't figure out how they're doing it. You take the call, you show up, you price the job honestly, and somehow the homeowner still chooses the guy who's less competent. He uses the same materials or maybe even worse materials and cuts corners that you wouldn't touch on your worst day. Let's break down why this keeps happening because it has nothing to do with price. And at the end, I will give you 5 steps you can take to solve this. Most contractors are asking the wrong question. This is what everybody asks. How are they so cheap? But that is not the problem. The real issue is simpler and far more uncomfortable. Here's you and your competitor. Let's say you're contractor A. Before a number is ever discussed, you and the cheap guy look identical to the homeowner. Okay, so you have two trucks, you have two estimates, two numbers that are in an inbox. But from the homeowner's point of view, there's no difference yet. And when two things look the exact same, people, of course, are going to default to the cheaper version. Now, don't take this personally, it's simply human behavior. Here's what actually separates a contractor who wins from the one who keeps getting price shopped. So here's the difference between contractor A and contractor B, right? So let's say contractor B, he just shows up cold. He wings the conversation, eventually writes a number, and then from there he just operates on on hope. The other, contractor A, right here, he starts the process before the site visit even happens, right? They set the expectations early. They explain how the job will flow, how communication works, how problems get handled, and what the client can count on. And what contractor A does that B doesn't is that they reduce the uncertainty before they ever talk pricing. And that's the secret. If you take anything from this video, let this be it. Price is emotional, risk is logical. When you lower the risk, the price then becomes secondary. And by the time the estimate actually hits their inbox, the homeowner already knows the cheap option is the risky option. They aren't comparing numbers anymore, they're comparing outcomes. And the comparison then starts to feel irresponsible. This is why racing to the bottom never works. You don't beat cheap by trying to be cheaper. You beat cheap by making the comparison impossible. And some of you may already have experienced this. Like, for example, when a homeowner feels safer with you, they don't care about saving a little. They care about not dealing with a huge disaster later. Show them this, educate them, and show them that you actually care about them. Your job isn't to defend your price, it's to raise your perceived value long before the numbers even show up. All right, really quick. If you're tired of losing good jobs to bad contractors, we help builders and remodelers change their entire estimation process so homeowners see the value far before the price. If you want homeowners choosing you for all of the right reasons, book a free blueprint audit, and I'll show you exactly where a process is creating confusion and how to fix it so you can stop competing with the cheapest option in town and start getting chosen as the safest one. But I promised you 5 steps to follow. So here's what you can start doing today to stop getting lumped in with the cheap option. All right, step one, control the conversation before the site visit even happens. This means you can send a short pre visit message or an email that explains how your process works. You can outline what you will actually review while you're on site, how your estimates are built, and what happens after you send them. When the homeowner knows what to expect, you immediately feel more professional than anybody who just comes and takes a look. Step two, stop giving instant numbers on site. The moment you throw out a price without context, you turn your work into a commodity. Instead of actually explaining that price comes after reviewing scope, risks, materials, this creates anticipation and positions your estimate as considered and not just guessed. Step three, explain risk, not materials, right? Homeowners assume everyone uses the similar products for the most part, generally speaking. But what they don't understand is the risk. So this means you can talk about change orders, timeline, overruns, communication, breakdowns, cleanup issues, etc. Make it clear that cheaper bids often push risk onto the homeowner later. That means that they're going to start hiring you all over again to clean up the past contractor's mess, and they're going to be spending thousands of dollars more. Step 4, frame your estimate as a decision, not just a number. When you send a quote, include a short explanation of what choosing you protects them from. This means missed deadlines, which sometimes you can't control, unclear scope, surprise costs, poor communication. And because you're not just selling labor, what you're selling is a service and certainty. Step 5 is always set the next step before sending the quote. This means never just email or write up an estimate without booking the next step, whether that be a phone call, a video call, anything along those lines. And that call is where you guide the decision. You can answer any of the immediate concerns, and prevent any price only comparisons. Estimates sent without a next step get shopped. And that happens every single time. I hope you found this helpful. Leave a comment, add me on Facebook, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll talk to you soon.